It has been a very, very long time since my last video, and I'm so sorry. I took another mini hiatus. I feel like a lot has been going on and I have a lot to update, but if you are only here for the list, I will put a timestamp of where you can skip and not have to listen to my yap fest. But I guess for the small minority of you who may be interested, a few things to address. So I started school. I mean, I say started school, but this was literally back in late-ish September, so I've been in school for a while, but I've just been so busy, and that's why the uploads have not been existent. And I just finished my midterms, so I feel like now is a good place for me to kind of get back on it because I actually have time now, but I've just been so swamped with school and work, and so I'm really sorry I've just not had the energy or motivation, but alas, we are here today. Another thing, you might notice that the video quality is a little bit different than what you might be used to, and that's because my dad actually got me a camera for my birthday, and I'm very grateful and also a little bit afraid because now you're gonna be able to see all my pores, blemishes, imperfections up close in 4K HD. I think hopefully it's an upgrade, and I guess with that also, I am using the mic on the camera because me being the tech genius that I am, I could not figure out how to connect my external mic to the camera. So we're just gonna use the camera's mic, and so if the audio's really messed up, I apologize, but hopefully it's fine. And then I'm also filming this the day of the election results, and I don't really know what to say other than this is a very overwhelming and disheartening place and time for many people, myself included. I don't want to get too political on this channel. We're here to talk about perfume, but I feel like I personally haven't even fully processed it yet. I'm still going through the process of processing because I don't quite understand how things are the way that they are. Hopefully I can make this time a little bit if I can make this period even the least bit more, a little bit more tolerable, then that's fantastic, and I feel like I have a purpose to be filming a video. Anyways, that's enough. On the bright side, I have to share with you today some of my favorite perfumes pretty much ever. Vanilla is probably the most common perfume note in the industry, and for good reason. Vanilla is so delicious and has such a likable kind of scent, and it's personally one of my favorite notes. You might notice with any video that I make talking about a perfume that I really love, 9 times out of 10 it's gonna have vanilla in it because I love vanilla as a flavor. I love it as a note. It is just amazing. And there are so many great vanilla perfumes, but I want to talk about the ones that I think are the best. And there are 16 perfumes in this video, so clearly I was not really able to narrow it down very much, but I really do think these are great. I am ordering them from my least favorite to most favorite, and I don't want it to sound like I don't like the fragrances at the end of the list, because again, I want to reiterate that I think all of these are fantastic and I really recommend them. It's just I did want to, have some sort of progression. And for those of you who have been with my channel for any amount of time, really, you already know what the top 3 fragrances are gonna be. Very predictable. And with that, I will shut up. This intro is way too long, so let's just get right into it. So first up is Dolce & Gabbana Devotion, a lemon pound cake kind of fragrance. And I guess the reason why it's I'm mentioning it first, so it's my least favorite on this list. I kind of just grew out of this fragrance. It's so delicious, but I think that there's just something a little bit kind of plasticky, not in a super sharp, screechy way, but it's a dry, powdery kind of plasticky feel. And I've kind of just grown out of it a little bit. I still love this fragrance. I was gonna say I wear it all the time, but I don't. I wore it yesterday, and that's kind of when I was I think it smells really good. I think a lot of people would love this fragrance, but it's just maybe not totally for me. Okay, next up we have Kayali Vanilla 28. It's just a very classic vanilla extract kind of vanilla. It's textbook, gourmand vanilla. It has brown sugar, it has patchouli, it's spicy, it's warm, it's sweet and yummy, but it's just very vanilla. And if you're looking for just a good, standard, classy, and well done spicy vanilla, then this is kind of the go-to fragrance in that realm. Next up we have Finery Sweet on the outside. This is a dupe for Billie Eilish's Eilish perfume, except I actually like this one better because it has a smoked vetiver note that I think gives it a very kind of fresh and mysterious and clean kind of vibe. This is just like a really sweet, yummy, it smells kind of like cool, like temperature wise. It's just so good, especially for how accessible this fragrance is, how affordable it is. I really think that this one is a banger that you need to check out. Next up is Choco Musk. Literally, you can probably get this for under $10. It is just like a powdery chocolate vanilla, super gourmand, very sweet, just like Nesquik powder textbook gourmand kind of feel. Very good fragrance, especially for gourmand lovers. Next up is Vanilla Cashmere by Being Frenchy. This is definitely a kind of like a different genre of vanilla, I feel. This is a much cleaner and less like heavily gourmand kind of vanilla. Obviously there's a lot of emphasis on the cashmere and the woods. It's so soft and smooth and has such a comforting scent. It also has a rice note, which gives it this really, I don't know, it just smells sophisticated and well balanced and just really soothing. So I really enjoy this fragrance and I highly recommend it. Also another really affordable fragrance that you can find at Target. So next up is Burberry Goddess. This is kind of like Maud Vanilla's more grown, classy, older sister. It smells very cold in a way, but it's still just this really delicious and sweet, intoxicating vanilla. It does have a very prominent lavender note, so that could be something to look out for if you don't like the smell of lavender. But this is just such a beautiful, elegant, classy kind of scent. Next up is Eclair by Lattafa. This is just as gourmand as you can get with a fragrance. It literally smells like sweet caramel vanilla milk. Very lactonic, powdery, sweet, creamy, marshmallowy. I don't think that there's a ton of depth to this fragrance. It really is just like a sweet, fluffy, marshmallowy, vanilla, gourmand heaven fragrance, but it's like gourmand lover's dream type of fragrance, and I think it's amazing. Next up is Fresh Cream Warm Cashmere, another just textbook, creamy, gourmand, cupcakey kind of vanilla, except because it is, I mean, warm cashmere is in its name. It does have a very cozy and a slightly woody aspect to it, but it's not at all like a sharp kind of woody. It's more of like a powdery, hence the name cashmere kind of wood, but it's a very sweet, decadent, delicious, so likable, so I feel like nothing extremely different or unexpected, but it's just very good. Next up is Libre Le Parfum. Bougie, expensive, spicy, thick honey, syrupy, oriental, beautifully done vanilla. If you want to smell bougie, if you want to smell classy, elegant, but also delicious and amazing and expensive, this is the fragrance to go for. I like this even better than the Intense and the original, just because it has such a beautiful honeyed nectar kind of note to it. It's beautiful. Next up is Charosa 59, and you can see how much of this fragrance I have used, and I haven't even like owned it for that long. This is just such an incredible fragrance to me. It is like a sweet sugared violet note, but it's so beautifully done, and it's clean, it's soothing, it's soft and uplifting. It's not like a super dense gourmand, like it's airy. It has like a very, I guess, fresh yet very sweet vanilla feel to it. So I think this is such a good vanilla fragrance. Next up we have Boardwalk Delight by Skylar, and this is actually the body mist because the Eau de Parfum is $90 and this was $30. And I don't see a significant difference in lasting power. I don't think that the perfume has very good lasting power at all, unfortunately. This one's like even worse, obviously, I mean, being a body mist. But still, I love the scent of this so much. If you like cotton candy and just very sweet, cupcakey, fluffy vanilla, this is for you. It still smells like elevated. Like it doesn't just smell like straight up cotton candy body mist, like something that you would find in like a middle schooler's backpack or like in Bath and Body Works. Like it does smell really refined. It smells so like clean in a way while being super gourmand. It's just delicious. I didn't want to buy the perfume just because it did not last me at all, but I was so like addicted to the scent that I had to have it in some form, so I opted to get the body mist. and it's been a great purchase. I use it all the time. Okay, so now we're getting into the top 5. These are like the cream of the crop. Like literally, like if someone came up to me and was like, recommend a perfume for me, these are the ones that would come to mind because I think that these are absolutely phenomenal fragrances. Starting off, we have Dolce & Gabbana The Only One Intense. I've already talked about this one a ton, but it's just, oh my god, it's such a delicious, creamy, sweet coconut with like nectared white florals. It has a really subtle green apple in the opening that gives it this delicious candy-like tartness. It blends in so effortlessly with this really creamy and silky coconut. And of course, the vanilla is kind of the star of the show there. I'm always amazed by how gourmand this fragrance can be while also feeling so incredibly elegant and classy. So I really think that this is a phenomenal fragrance. There's a reason why it's been in my favorites list for years now. Next up, and this is a fragrance that I have been sleeping on because I really, really don't like the line that this fragrance belongs to, and it's Black Opium Le Parfum. I've been very vocal about how I don't like Black Opium. There was something about the DNA, especially the coffee note, that was just so sharp and bitter and cloying, and when mixed with that like very sweet vanilla, it was just so incredibly headache inducing to me. But for some reason, this fragrance really, really works for me. I think they definitely toned down like the bitterness of the coffee and that like just kind of nasty black licorice accord that the original had, and it's so much smoother, well blended. It has kind of a smoky, edgy feel to it. It's very dark, but it's very decadent. You still get a coffee note, so it's very mysterious. It smells so incredible, and when it dries down, it is just the most beautiful, warm, gourmand vanilla. The performance is spectacular, and I didn't expect myself to fall in love with this fragrance as much as I did, but it's incredible. Next up, we have Fleur's Heavy Cream. I feel like this is such a run-of-the-mill textbook cupcake vanilla, whipped cream, fluffy, creamy kind of gourmand vanilla, yet I've never smelled something like this before. I feel like whipped cream is such a common note in fragrances, but like most of the time when a fragrance has whipped cream, it kind of just smells like the vanilla, like the candy vanilla that we all know and love. But this one truly smells like whipped cream, like it smells whipped and fluffy, and oh my god, it's so smooth, and the vanilla mousse note in this is like so much of what I smell. It's decadent, it's mouth-watering, I am obsessed with this fragrance mist. It's not even like an eau de parfum, but I love this. Next up, we have Zadig and Voltaire. This is her. This is not your typical run-of-the-mill vanilla, and that's what I love about it. It's so silky smooth and woody not in a sharp or earthy way, but so smooth and cozy and delicate. It's so put together and refined and like blended to perfection. It definitely has some gourmand elements. It has the whipped cream, it has the vanilla, but at the same time, it's very, very clean smelling, and it's just such an interesting blend of lactonic notes, but also like smooth, woody, cashmere kind of notes. And I mean, go watch literally like all of my other videos because I will probably mention this fragrance because I'm obsessed with it. And of course, to nobody's surprise, best vanilla fragrance, the best fragrance, period, in my opinion, is Mod Vanilla by Ariana Grande. It is definitely what I would call like a gourmand lover's dream, but at the same time, it's also very refined and sophisticated. It has such a prominent musk note blended into it that like I feel like shouldn't work, but it does. It's just so beautiful and sweet, yet it feels so complex, and this has such a delicious ethereal quality to it that I cannot get enough of. Pretty much been my favorite fragrance since the day I smelled it, and will be a fragrance that I hold very near and dear to my heart for many years to come. But yeah, that about wraps up my list for the best vanilla fragrances in my collection. All of these are super suitable for fall and winter and just colder weather in general as these winter months are approaching. So I really, really recommend checking all of these fragrances out, especially those top like 5, 6. I think that's gonna wrap it up for my list. Definitely feel free to let me know what your favorite vanilla fragrances are. Always on the hunt for a delicious, decadent vanilla perfume. I hope you're all well, especially during this very complicated time. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I love you, take care, and I will see you all very soon.